Tim DTV. It's variety, the real footage show. Tim Davis.
Hello and welcome to the 24th edition of the Real Footage Show. I'm Tim Davis. Today we're going to be discussing and reviewing the fourth installment of the Amityville movie series. The fourth Amityville aired in 1989, Amityville 4, The Evil Escapes. It was a made-for-TV movie following in the tradition of the horror movies that have been made previous to the release of the 89 movie, with the Amityville craze beginning in the 1970s. At the end of the third Amityville movie, Amityville 3D, which was had special effects in it with 3D glasses in theaters, at the end of that movie, the Amityville house, explodes. So we see the house return in the fourth edition of the Amityville series of movies. But this review is to focus and to discuss the moments from beginning to end of the movie for fans that enjoy the acting and the theme of it. This video is for you. The thing that makes the fourth Amityville movie different from the others is the fact that the majority of the movie, it is filmed other place than Amityville, New York. It is filmed mostly in the California area. It stars Patty Duke, Jane Wyatt, and Norman Lloyd among a cast of many great actors and actresses. It's also different in that the evil from the Amityville house transcends itself into one of the items in the house and then travels across the country to California to unleash its evil there. Many people are not too fond of that idea. I think a lot of people were disappointed when they realized that about 95% of the movie is dealt with in California and only a small percentage is dealt in Amityville. But nonetheless, it still, I believe, contains a punch of thrilling moments and twisting plots. It begins on a rainy night in Amityville, New York, as we see the Amityville house outside, and a bunch of cars pull up in front of it, and out of the cars are priests, which are about to go into the house to perform, to bless the house, to get the evil spirits to leave it. When they first enter the door, all seems fine until the presence of the priest is known by the spirits within the house, and lights start flickering on and off, and doors start slamming. The priests make their way from room to room, some on the downstairs level and some on the upstairs. One priest in particular happens to go into one of the upstairs bedrooms and comes across an old brass standing floor lamp. As he is blessing the room, a demonic-looking face appears in the globe of the lamp, and it throws him against the wall, knocking him unconscious. This is what the lamp appears to be like in the movie. This floor lamp resembles, to me personally, either that of a person standing with his arms out or a tree, the way it is designed. But after this unsuccessful attempt at trying to rid the evil spirits from the Amityville house, a few days later there was a yard sale at this property, and all the items that are within the house, including the brass standing floor lamp, are on sale for anyone to buy. Anything that doesn't sell will be sent to the junkyard. Two people end up coming across, two good friends end up coming across the floor lamp on sale at the yard sale, and the one decides to buy it and as a birthday present and send it to her sister in California, which she does. So the lamp is on its way now to Dancott, California, and during the buying process of the yard sale, while this one woman happens to be looking at the lamp, she ends up cutting her finger around the brass collar of the lamp and ends up getting tetanus from it. She is eventually sent to the hospital where she is trying to recover from the tetanus. Meanwhile, the lamp is now on its way to California for the delivery service. What happens on the same day is Nancy Evans and her 3 children, Jessica, Amanda, and Brian, are also visiting their grandmother's house where this lamp happens to be going to. And Nancy Evans is a widow after her husband recently passed away, so she's going through tough times there. Nobody realizing what danger they are in as they arrive, as the lamp happens to be there on that exact day. Everything seems fine at first. They take the lamp out of the box and plug it in, but as soon as the lamp is illuminated, the pet bird and cat in the house begin to stare at it funny and start to act crazy around it. And not too long after that, things from within the house, many things begin to happen to each member of the family. Strange things begin to happen with the lights and the electrical appliances. Nobody knowing at first what's really is happening, they don't realize that the force, the evil spirits from the Amityville house are now in their house because they are within that lamp. At first, the grandmother believes that the kids are playing pranks or tricks from within the house, and everyone's accusing everyone of doing this and doing that, but here it's the evil spirits. As the movie continues, Nancy Evans, played by Patty Duke, starts to become suspicious of her youngest daughter, Jessica, who believes she is speaking to her deceased father through the lamp, when in reality she is, because the lamp is making it seem as if her father is talking to her to take her over, possessed in sort of a way. The mother gets suspicious in that way and then tells the grandmother, Alice Leacock, that there's something wrong here, and there's something about that lamp that she doesn't like. And the grandmother, her mother, begins to tell her that it's just an old floor lamp and it doesn't mean anything. But in reality, it really does. So as the movie continues along, more and more things begin to happen. People are passing away because of freak accidents caused by the lamp. And all this time this is going on, the priest that was originally knocked unconscious at the Amityville house back in New York recovers in the hospital and wants to go back to the Amityville house to see that he could defeat what is really happening here. When he arrives back at the house, he notices that all of the furniture has been sold and has all been removed from within the house. He wonders, would anyone have a record of the items that were sold or junked with from within the house? And the owner of the property tells him that most of it was sold and the other was junked. He wants to know who received the lamp, and he finds out that someone did receive it. He originally gets in contact with with Helen that originally purchased it at the yard sale. She later dies in the hospital from the tetanus, but her best friend happens to be there, and she tells him that this lamp was sent to a friend of hers in California. So the priest gets the address of the California house and makes his way there after being told by Norman Lloyd, who plays another priest in the movie, that it's not a wise idea to be dealing with such happenings like this. He's been through it before and it's been nothing but torment. So the priest, anyway, after some thinking it over, decides he has to conquer this, and he heads to California. Meanwhile, in California at this house, all these strange things continue to happen. Near the conclusion of the film, we find out that the priest gets in touch with Nancy Evans, played by Patty Duke, and he meets her at the roadside inn so he can discuss to her what is really taking place within their house at that very moment. The unspeakable evil which is happening, and also that the passings of the people are all caused because of this evil force. So it's now a race against time as they both rush back to the California home. At that very moment, drama is taking place there as unspeakable evil things are beginning to happen. And as they get there just in time, Brian comes out and says that Jessica is locked in the attic with the lamp, and she won't come out. So they race up. As soon as the priest enters the house, it's like deja vu for him. As the door slams and the lights begin to flicker on and off, it takes him back to that moment he was in Amityville. It scares him literally to death. They work their way up to the attic, and after breaking the door down with an axe, they get into the attic, and Jessica, of course, is in there, and the lamp is in there. They get locked in, and now it's one-on-one with the evil spirit. At first, it seems like it's not working, but after some time, the climax of the story is the grandmother in this story that is played by Jane Wyatt gets so frustrated that what this spirit has done to her house and to the people within it, that she picks up this heavy brass floor lamp and takes it and tosses it out the attic window full force. And during this time, the priest's arm is wrapped around the cord, the electrical cord of the lamp, and is pulling him now through the window. So just in time, they take an axe and they chop the cord. The lamp ends up going down the side of the cliff and down near the seashore, where it explodes, hits the rocks, and this fireball comes out of it. And now the end has come for it. Now the grandmother and everyone realizes that it was all the evil force within the lamp that has been creating all this drama and tragedy throughout their lives over the course of those 3 days that they were there. The following day, after everything is finally discovered, everyone goes their separate ways, and it looks like it's all finally over. But the final scene of the movie shows the waves washing up on shore, and the broken up pieces of the Amityville lamp now all over the place. And the family pet, the cat that was introduced in many scenes throughout the movie, named Pepper, is now seen wandering around the area where the Amityville lamp is now broken into pieces. And this cat happens to have gotten too close to it, or it has the force now within it, because in the final shot of the movie, the cat looks at the camera and its eyes glow a orangish red color, meaning now that evil force has now transferred itself over to the cat, making it seem as if it is now going to be a sequel, which many people believed was going to happen, but nothing really ever came out of that the following years after that. But it does make one to believe, like, wow, now this cat has the evil now in it and is going to go eventually back to the house and create all this all over again. This movie, the fourth installment of the Amityville series, was a break from the first three, where the force went actually into an object. And that's what they did here. This idea would have been done again in the early 1990s, when the force was placed into a mantle clock in the Amityville early movie in the early 1990s, It's About Time. But Amityville 4, I believe, on many of the reviews that I've read or heard online, many people seem to be too harsh and critical about the movie. Yes, it's not like the others. It's not all based in New York, but I think that the acting and the general creepiness of the theme makes this movie pretty good to watch. I think people are a little too harsh and critical at times, and should just really stop and see how the acting is, and just the whole general idea. For me, this movie scared the hell out of me as a young boy. I remember seeing this years after it originally aired in the early 1990s. I used to refer to it as the movie with the lamp, because I was not too familiar with its title. But to me, it was a very creepy movie. The music, the scenarios, and that lamp in general scared me for years after that. Nowadays, I see it as a pop culture classic in the movie genre. But at the time, it was incredibly scary, and I'm sure other people would agree to that. If you agree or disagree, share your comments with us and let us know what you think. I think the movie deserves more of a better praise and rating than what it actually gets. Totally my opinion. But if you have seen or have not seen this movie, please watch it and give it another chance, or even if it's your first time, please don't miss out. It's definitely worth watching in the Amityville series of movies. I have seen many of them over the years, and this one always has been one of my more favorites, probably because it was the first one I've ever seen out of any of the Amityvilles. I remember when my family recorded this movie on VHS tape back when it actually aired on NBC television in 1989. And at the last final moments of the film, the tape ran out, and we were unable to see the ending, the ending part in the attic. So it wasn't until the movie was released on VHS a few years later that we were actually finally able to see the conclusion of the movie on VHS. And it was very popular too. I remember we would always go to our local rental store for videotapes at the time, and we would constantly see if it was there, and if it was, we would rent it and have it at our house for a few days. And then, of course, over the years, it was released on DVD. And to me, it remains a popular culture classic in the film genre of movies. Amityville 4: The Evil Escapes is a classic. I love it because of the stars. 3 of my favorite stars happen to be in it. Patty Duke of the Patty Duke Show, and popular actress in movies over the years like The Miracle Worker. Patty Duke Show. I always enjoyed Patty Duke's performances in movies, especially in Amityville 4. I think she does a superb job in this movie as a widowed mother with children. I love this movie with her in it. Jane Wyatt, more familiar to television audiences as an actress on Father Knows Best. And Norman Lloyd, who happens to be a television actor and producer and director. Most of his earlier work can be seen on episodes of Alfred Hitchcock Presents. He plays the part of a priest in this movie, and I really enjoy his work as well here, as well as all of the other actors and actresses that were featured within this movie. I think everyone does a fantastic job bringing together this terrific horror film. It's a classic, and it's all about the praise here for me. Nothing but praise for this movie. Definitely thumbs up and 5-star rating for me. If you agree or disagree, again, feel free to share your comments or thoughts about it, and we will get back to you on those. Also, check out too the movies that follow the Amityville 4 movie. There was It's About Time and Dollhouse. The original Amityville horror was also later remade in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it's just another part of pop culture history there, as it was I believe, an excellent movie, and I'm sure I can't say that more than enough. We'll be back in just a moment. Follow along with me on social media. Add me as a friend on Facebook and like our pop culture entertainment pages, or subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow along with more original videos such as this. For The Real Footage Show, I'm Tim Davis, and thank you for watching.